All right, FightHype.com. Sean Zattel here with the boss, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe. How you doing, Leonard?
What's up, Sean? What's going on, boss man?
Well, we got some really big fights coming up on Saturday. Doubleheader, both world title fights with the Charlo brothers. But Leonard, which undercard fight are you looking forward to most Saturday night?
Probably the Neri fight. Yeah, he's that kid. He's very, very exciting. Tremendous puncher. 24 knockouts out of 30 fights.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's in that division where my kid Angelo Leo is. So I'm keeping a very close eye on him. You know, what I love about that division is a lot of tremendous matchups that can be made. You got Roman, he's fighting on the card too. Another very exciting young fighter. You know, and I think he's going to continue to stay in the mix. You know, it's a lot of exciting matchups to be made in 122-pound weight class.
And he talks a lot, Luis Neri, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. But he can fight his behind off.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, a tremendous puncher. You know, so again, top to bottom, this is a tremendous card. I'm really looking forward to the Jamal Derevyanchenko fight. I think that fight ends in a knockout also. He obviously is bringing lots of experience to the table. I thought he lost the Triple G fight. You know, Danny Jacobs fight, he fought a good fight. One thing I do know, he will be prepared because Andre Rozier is a tremendous trainer. So I know he'll have him ready to go. But I just think overall with Jamal's just his physical strength, his boxing IQ, and his ability to you know, get it done. And this is the moment that he's been waiting for, actually both the brothers, to be on the big stage, you know, to show out. And I think that fight ends in a knockout, probably in the middle of the fight.
So you actually thought Derevyanchenko, you thought Golovkin won that fight? A lot of people thought Derevyanchenko.
No, did I say?
Yeah, I think you may have said you thought Golovkin won the fight, but you had Derevyanchenko winning the fight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
But stylistically, is Jamal Charlo kind of wrong for Derevyanchenko? You know, he likes
totally.
Yeah. Why is that, Leonard?
Yeah, totally. Because again, you know, in those two fights, you see how he came out, and he was dropped in both of those fights in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that the way that Jamal has been preparing, you know, he's just an animal, you know, and I expect him to get him out of there in the middle of the fight.
You know, stylistically though, what makes Jamal wrong for Derevyanchenko? Because I know Derevyanchenko's aggressive. He comes in to throw combinations.
Well,
that's even worse than Golovkin or Jacobs was stylistically. What is it about Jamal?
Well, again, he has everything what it takes. He has tremendous his skill set, and with Derevyanchenko being very aggressive, that plays right into Jamal's his strengths.
Well, I mean, the best highlight of his career was the counter uppercut with J-Rock, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that was a tremendous punch, and again, both the Charlos have great IQ. They always come in tremendous physical condition, and again, I think that, you know, with all those attributes that Maul has, it'll just be too much. He'll overwhelm Derevyanchenko in the middle of the fight.
Well, I brought up the Williams shot because, as you know, is a counter shot. You think those type of counter shots will be available, you know, and being that, like you said, Derevyanchenko's aggressive
all day long.
Mm-hmm.
All day long.
Who would you want to see Jamal fight next? I know there's talks of like Chris Eubank, but then, you know, at 68 is Canelo, Jacobs, Plant, Benavidez. What direction, you know, as a guy who likes Jamal Charlo?
Yeah, again, there's some very exciting matchups to be made in the future for him. That's why I think that he's licking his chops come Saturday night to send a big statement to the guys at 60 and 68.
He's a big middleweight, Leonard. Should he stay
huge.
At 60 or move up?
Well, again, whatever he feels comfortable with. Again, those guys know their body better than anybody. and I think he fits well in either weight class. I mean, he's so big and strong, athletic, all the skills in the world. Again, he's a force to be reckoned with.
I know you've seen Chris Eubank Jr. out here in Floyd's gym. Isn't that right, Leonard?
Yeah. I'm very familiar with him.
How do you think he would match up with Jermall?
Well, that's a tough matchup for him. That's a tough matchup for him. He's a good fighter. Chris is a good fighter, but that's a tough matchup for Eubank.
Sounds like you would even think he'd be the underdog if they ever fight.
Who?
And Eubank Jr.
Would be the underdog.
Would be the underdog. He's the one with the uphill climb.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. But before I go to the main event, Jermell and Jason Rosario, I wanted to just pedal it back to the main event for a second. Brandon Figueroa, like Luis Neri's on the undercard in Angelo Leo's division. What do you think of his fight and maybe fighting Angelo?
Listen, another guy who's never in a boring fight. He only knows how to just come forward and throw. Very good, solid fighter. I would love that matchup with him and Angelo Leo. That would be a war between two outstanding Mexican-American fighters who just come forward and both are very aggressive. It would just be a all-out war.
Well, Figueroa, he's like damn near 6 feet, but he loves to come inside, make it a phone booth. Do you ever think he should use his height more?
Well, again,
not make it so hard on himself.
That's just the way he likes to fight, and he's been very successful with doing that. And again, but he's very, very entertaining, and he gives the fans what they want to see. Nothing but excitement.
Who do you think's the better matchup for Angelo? A fight with Neri or a fight with Brandon Figueroa?
Either one of them. I like both those matchups. I like both of those matchups. But I know Angelo has been wanting to fight Brandon for quite some time. But Angelo.
Do they not like each other, or it's just
no? It's just this was before he became world champion. But first things first, I don't want to look ahead. Anything. He has a tough fight in front of him, which we all know what that is, Stephen Fulton, and I'm really excited about that.
But to close on that, would you even be willing to, because it's understandable, fighters after they fight top opponents, they usually get a nice come down fight before they ratchet it back up, but would you be willing to throw Angelo in, Fulton and then Neri back to back, or would you skip that, that
No, his very next fight is Stephen Fulton.
No, that's what I mean. If he could get past Fulton, which is saying a hell of a lot, Fulton's a hell of a fighter, but would you be willing to match this kid just back to back,
Why not? Why not? These guys are young, they're in their prime, and they want to fight the best fighters that are out there. But again, at 122, there are some very, very exciting matchups to be made right now and in the very near future.
But for Jermell Charlo, who's main eventing the night, unification, basically all the belts are on the line. Do you Tony Harrison, Trout, John Jackson, these guys try to box Jermell and move. Do you think Jason Rosario is going to try and have a different game plan and go toe-to-toe?
Yeah, he's very strong. He's very strong himself. A very good puncher, heavy-handed. But I know that his trainer Derek is a very, very good trainer, and he'll have him prepared for Saturday night. Anything that Rosario brings. I expect that fight to also end in a knockout, too.
For which fighter?
I expect Jermell to stop him.
Were you there? I know that was a card you promoted, I'm pretty sure, the night Gallimore was able to knock out.
Yeah.
Did you watch that fight ringside?
Yeah. It was a very good fight. Again, all these are entertaining matchups. Again, this is a pay-per-view steal.
Is he chinny? Rosario?
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. I know that there are some things that they'll be able to exploit in the fight, and again, I expect that fight to go, to later rounds, and with Mel's ability to make adjustments. I think that coming down the stretch, he'll stop him.
If it turns to a shootout, exchanges, does Jermell have the crisper, shorter punches?
Yeah, and again, he's gained invaluable experience in these tough fights that he's had. You know, in the Harrison fight, you know, Tony was winning the fight, and he took his eye off the prize. You know, and that's kind of what happens sometimes when, you know, he came up a little short. But again, at 54, I mean, everybody can bump. Everybody can fight. Everybody can fight. And that's why I think Mel wants to send a clear message to the other guys that, like, he's that guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he's the guy that everybody, he wants to wipe out the division. You know, he wants to make that big statement Saturday night, you know, and what better way to do it, you know, to have 3 belts.
Is Jermell, you know, and obviously Jamal too, but one of the most explosive guys in boxing, just, you know, not even talking skills and all that, just explosiveness.
Yeah, yes he is. He's very, extremely explosive. And again, he's been getting a lot of experience, you know, in these good fights with very good fighters. You know, and that's the advantage. One of the advantages I think that he'll have coming into this fight. You know, he's been in there with all the top guys. He's been in there with the top guys at 54. And there's still other guys, top guys, that are gunning for him that he hasn't fought. You know, but that's what happens when you're the guy in the division, and you know, you talking the talk and walking the walk. So, you know, but I expect him to get it done in impressive fashion Saturday night.
Well, like you said, there's other guys he hasn't fought yet, but the guy he did fight, Lubin, and knocked him out in 1 round, is his mandatory. Do you want to see that fight again, or if you're Jermell?
I'm excited with any of the matchups. I know J-Rock is itching to get in there and mix it up with those guys, and he's a tremendous fighter himself. And so however it shakes out, whatever, however Al puts it together, he has the master plan on who's fighting who. I'm just excited to be able to stay close to the situation and be a fan.
What do you think of the energy both brothers bring to the sport? Because they seem more amped, more turned up than anyone I've seen in a long time in boxing.
They have a chip on their shoulders, and I actually like that, because again, it's like they don't play. They don't play. They always looking to prove a point. And in boxing, it's okay. Some fighters are more mild-mannered, but I like guys who talk shit. Mm-hmm. I really do. Especially when they back it up. So I like that about both of those guys. Mel really pops a lot of shit. He pops a lot of shit, and I love that about him. I love that about him.
I remember Floyd said, "Give me a guy who's willing to go out on a limb instead of being afraid to put himself out there."
He believes in his skill set, and he lets you know, and that's what it is. He don't play. He don't play.